In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make an edit of any song in your Rekordbox or Serato library and then DJ with that new edit instantly in your chosen DJ software. I think a lot of DJs don't know that this feature exists, and I see a lot of DJs still using Ableton, Audacity, or other DAWs to edit their songs, but you don't actually need to do that. You can make an edit in Rekordbox or Serato and then DJ with that song instantly. Before we get started, if you find this video useful, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this in the near future. So let's get straight into it. So let's start off with Rekordbox. So right here, we are in export mode. So if we click in the top left of the software and go to edit mode right here, this is what edit mode looks like. And if you click on browser down in the bottom left, it will bring up your library. So I have a song in here that I would like to make an edit of, and it's this one right here. So if you drag that to the top, you can then click browser again and it will hide the browser. And now we're in edit mode with a song loaded, ready to edit. So first of all, you can use the plus and minus magnifying glass here to zoom in and out. And you can see that this is a full length track, quite a long song. It's 6 minutes 42. Now this is a song that I made a long time ago and it's too long. I would like to condense this song, edit it by chopping things out and just making it shorter. In Rekordbox edit mode, that's actually super easy to do. So first of all, what I'll do is I'll make a shorter edit, and then after that, I will show you how you can make an extended edit where you can extend parts of the track so that your song is longer. So if we zoom out further like this, let the waveform load. So you can see that there's all of these different lines going down across the main waveform here in the middle of the screen. If we zoom back in, these grids going across the waveform can be used to very quickly highlight a section of a song and then just press delete to get rid of it. It's also very important to note that this will only work correctly if your beat grid is set correctly. So do double check that any song that you put into edit mode, make sure the beat grid is perfect. So the beat grid on this is spot on. So if I zoom in just one more time, if you look here, I'll highlight this section of the track here. This is simply a drum loop and it's too long. I could actually get rid of the whole thing. And to do that, you just press delete on your keyboard when you've highlighted it and it will delete it like that. Let's click undo here in the bottom right, because actually, if I zoom out just one more click, I actually would like to keep half of this section here. So what I'll do is I'll just highlight the middle of that drum section and then just press delete. So now I've halved that drum intro, but importantly, I've actually kept the end part where it goes into a new section. And the reason that's important is if we take a listen here, you'll hear that I've actually put a drum fill in the song, and it's important to keep that because if you get rid of the drum fill, you lose a lot of the production character and you don't want to do that. In fact, let's just listen from the beginning. So it's just nothing but a plain drum loop right now. So that right there was 4 bars, and then another 4 bars, and at the end of this, you'll hear the drum fill. So then it goes into a new section. But if you look here, if I highlight this section here, that is also too long. I want to halve that. So what I could do is I could highlight the first 8 bars and press delete, and then let's take a listen to that new 8-bar section. You'll hear at the end of this, there's another kind of fill before the breakdown, and it's important to keep that. There we go. Straight into the breakdown. So I think that again is too long. So right here, we could have this section come in. So I'm just going to use the same trick again. I'm going to highlight the middle 8 bars and press delete. Now let's take a listen. So at the end of this 8 bars here, the melody will come in. And then just before the drop, drum fills. Now, the drop there, I made this song a long time ago. The drop there is a little bit too plain. So let's just move the cursor forward and take a listen to the section 8 bars after the drop. So So that's where the melody comes in. So I'm actually just going to delete the entire first 8 bars and take a listen just before the drop and see what it sounds like. So that sounds good. I'm going to keep that. So now let's just zoom out 1 click. So now we can see we've got the song down to 5 minutes 55. I would still like to do a little bit more editing. After the second drop, I might shave out some more here because it's quite long. So now let's do the same thing as before. Let's highlight 16 bars here and delete that. And I think I will probably leave it there. So now we've significantly trimmed down the song in no time at all. I would also like to point out that down at the bottom here, you can use this beat select option. So if I put the marker right there and then choose 8 beats, you can see it's highlighted 8 beats automatically. You can do 16, 32, 64 beats, but I actually prefer to just highlight it. That's the way I prefer to use it, but you can just use these beat selectors here and it will highlight a specific amount of the track, which is useful. Okay, so now that we've edited that song, all we need to do is go up to the top left of the software and click this icon right here, and that will render the audio. So if I change the track title to City of Dreams brackets short edit, you can then choose the location that it will go to, the file format and the sample rate. I'm happy with all of that. Show track in collection after radar. Keep this ticked, otherwise the song will not appear in your Rekordbox library as a new track. Obviously, you should keep this ticked. And then click render, and then it will be put into my library right here, City of Dreams short edit. And it is as simple as that. That's how you make a shorter edit of a song using Rekordbox. Now let's take a look at how to make an extended edit, and it's just as easy. So now with the song loaded, to create an extended version, it's actually even easier. So let's zoom in slightly. All you need to do is highlight a section of the song that you would like to extend. And then all you need to do is click the clone button right here in the bottom right, and it will copy the section that you've highlighted and it will add it to the song. So the song length has now been increased because we've just added a new 8 bars of beats. Another trick is you could highlight a section like this, click copy, make sure the blue marker is where you would like to paste it, and then just click paste down here. Now what that's actually done is it hasn't cloned it, it hasn't increased the length of the track, but what it has done is it has overwritten what was there. So you can either clone, which will increase the length of the track and just add whatever you would like to clone into the track, or you can copy and paste and that will overwrite. Then put the blue marker wherever you would like to insert it and then click insert. So that is how you create an extended version of any song in Rekordbox. What you can also do is you can save the project right here. So let's click on the save icon in the top left. Give it a name, choose your location, click save, and now that has been saved. And if you use this drop down menu here, all of your saved projects will show right there. So now we've got Serato open, and making an edit inside Serato is just as easy, but it's a very different process. So in Serato, there is an expansion pack called Flip, and Flip allows you to make edits, but the process is completely different to Rekordbox. So let's go over it. So first of all, head to the Serato settings, go to expansion packs, and if you have the Flip expansion pack, it will show right here, and just make sure it's ticked. If you don't, head to the Serato website and I'm sure you can purchase it. Let's head out of settings, and then the Flip icon is this one right here. So let's click that, and then the Flip icons show in the middle of the screen. Let's load in the song that we edited in Rekordbox, and let's make a slightly different version in Serato. So the way that editing works in Serato and Flip is it actually uses the hot cues. So basically what Flip does is it records your hot cue presses. So it's like hot cue automation, basically. So that way you can set hot cues in different parts of the songs that you would like to jump to, and then you press record and you jump to whatever part of the song you want to using those hot cues. It's not as complicated as it sounds, so let's go over it. So right here I've got some hot cues. I'm actually going to delete these. The first thing you need to do as well is make sure your beat grid is perfect. And if you look right here, you can see the beat grid is spot on. So we don't need to do anything there. If you did need to change the beat grid, hold Option and press spacebar to go to beat grid edit mode. And then if you use the slip function right here, slip left or right will move the whole beat grid left or right, but not mess with the timing. So sometimes the beat grid is just slightly off, but it's got the BPM correct. If that's the case, and it most often is the case if the beat grid is off, then you just need to use these slip buttons and you can actually see the beat grid shifting left or right. Mine was actually fine, so let's get it back to where it was. Okay, that's perfect. And then click save, and that will save the new beat grid. So first of all, let's set some hot cues. Let's set one right at the beginning of the song. Then let's jump forward using beat jump, 32 beats right here. And then let's set a hot cue there. Let's set that as hot cue number 2. Let's jump forward 32 again. Save that hot cue. Let's jump forward another 32. Save that hot cue, jump forward. Save that hot cue, jump forward, save that hot cue, and now we're on the drop. So using these hot cues, I'm going to record a flip and it will jump to whatever hot cue I press. And then we can save that flip to the track, which I'll cover in a moment. So when using flip for this purpose to create an edit of a song, I highly recommend turning on quantize. That way, any hot cues that you press, they will be perfectly in time, even if you press the hot cue button slightly out of time. So let's go back to the start of the track. Using the flip controls right here, let's press the record button. Now the record button is flashing red, and that means that the recording is currently armed and it will begin recording the moment we press a hot cue. We're going to turn off loop right here because we don't want Serato to loop what we're about to do. So let's press play, and then what I'll do is as it's playing, I'm going to use some of these hot cues to jump to different parts of the song. So in a moment, I'm going to press hot cue number 3 to skip a portion of the track. And because I've got quantize enabled, it was perfectly in time. Now I'm going to press hot cue number 5. So we're straight into the breakdown now. And then in a second, I'm going to press hot cue number 6. And now I'm going to press hot cue number 7 to go straight to the drop. So now we're in the drop. So I can now turn off flip. So now that flip is made, but the most important thing you have to do right now, otherwise you'll lose the flip, is you must press save. So now if we take a look at the deck in Serato, you can see it says brackets flip 2. Now that's because the flip has been saved, but we haven't given it a name yet. So to do that, let's go to the saved flips icon right here. And then you can see that I've got this edit that I just made. And you can double click it and give it another name. Let's call it short 2. So now, if we eject the song, the next time we load it into our deck, you can see that it said short 2. And if you look here, you can see that the flip called short 2 is turned on. And that means that anytime I load it into a deck, this flip will automatically be turned on, which means that that edit will play. So now let's take a listen to the edit. And one of the great things about Serato is you can actually see whilst the song is playing when it skips forward to another hot cue. Let's take a look. So you can see there, the jump is coming. And because we had quantize enabled, the jumps forward are perfectly in time. Now we're into the breakdown already. And you'll see it will jump forward now. And then we're going to go straight to the drop. So that's how you make an edit of any song in your DJ library without having to open up a DAW, go in there, edit the song, render it out, put it back in your DJ software. You can do it all within Rekordbox or Serato. If you found this video useful, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I have so much more educational content coming for the rest of the year and beyond. And if you already use these features, let me know down in the comments if you've got any tips and tricks for anyone else watching this video. My name's Blakey, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.